JwBlake here. I'm making an EP still, and this week I'm recording Harmonies. If you're like me, an incident when you were 12 has left you with an acute fear of capybaras and a strange-looking scar on your left ankle, but more importantly, you're bad at singing. Now, everyone knows I'm not Ariana Grande. I can't do a whistle note, and I don't have the ponytail anymore. But what I do have is a harmony recording technique so powerful that it was banned in 33 countries across the globe. Why? Let's find out. But first, not a sponsored message. Are you tired of bland, boring cereal? Then look no further at the Russell Hobbs Inspire Toaster. Awaken your senses as well as your taste buds every morning at breakfast with the inspired 2-slice grey toaster in a premium plastic with textured ripples for your pleasure. This distinctive grey toaster is a spectacular addition to any kitchen. I'm being serious. That is actually what it said on the B&Q product page. I mean, just look at this thing. This is shit that they are genuinely advertising as features. You know, premium textured plastic toaster with high grade gloss finish, blue LED. You can lift it so that you can look at the toast without cancelling the cycle, which basically just means they forgot to add a lock. Removable crumb tray. That's actually kind of, yeah, the crumb tray I respect. But you don't, like, it's a toaster. You don't need to put, like, who's going out here buying a toaster and thinking, you know what, that blue LED is the thing that is gonna make the difference. You know, when I bought this from the store, they said you should probably take a receipt because it might not work. I mean, thankfully it did, and I didn't, like, this is the first and only toaster that I have. But the poor people that they make market this, why? How much money went into marketing this product? Please, I want to know, and can I have some of it? Harmony is a fundamental part of making banging tunes. Vocal harmonies can be found in all different kinds of genres of music, through from punk rock with bands like Blink-182, where they're using perfect fifths in their choruses to just bring them out much, much further, to the more classical examples like jazz and pop. You see artists these days like Billie Eilish using harmonies to add a different level of uniqueness to their songs, and just, it gives them so much more character. Harmony holds the relationship between the different instruments in your track together, and with vocal harmony in particular, allows you to fill out a ton of instrumentation in the chorus parts of your track, as well as giving you a ton of mixing options in the stereo space. You know, vocal harmony is one of those things that can make a track sound really, really human and give it a lot more character. And you can find people creating vocal harmonies which look fluid and seamless, like they've come up with them on the spot. For instance, take that TikTok harmony trend where they start at the bass note and then they add like the third, the fifth, and the higher regions, and then they go and do the melody and they sound like a legend. Another thing that I'll point to is that one video of Ariana Grande in the studio where they're just hitting record and play, and she's putting harmonies over the top over and over again without even really thinking about it. It looks like magic. But if you're like me and you can barely hold a note, what's the best way to record some kick-ass harmonies? When tracking my songs, I often record the vocals last, and as a result of that, some of my harmonies can be pretty lackluster, because it turns out it's pretty difficult to write harmonies in your head, especially when you're singing all the other parts. It's not something that I can do entirely well live, but that's fine. We're learning, we're getting there. So I put together a step-by-step method for recording harmonies, and we're gonna make this. Tune of the week. Melody on sheet music looks like this. If you were composing for an orchestra or a choir, this would be what you would write down and give to your conductors and players. But let's take that melody and write it into a piano roll in a DAW. Notice that the melody is quite simple. Right now there isn't any texture, and what we're going to do is add in that texture with harmony. First, let's add some fifths and some octaves. You'll notice that right now when I play it, there isn't really much harmonic content, and that's because at the moment, all the harmony is in these perfect intervals. You'll see perfect intervals in things like power chords, and they're called that because they're always consistent regardless of which key signature you're using, and that's what makes them great for melodies. Now we've got the foundations of our chords, we can start thinking about the rest of the textures and the storytelling in our composition. I've got a rough idea in my head of how I want everything to sound, and now it's just about figuring out the rest of the notes and fiddling about with it until it works. I want my chords to come to a natural conclusion, so I'm going to end my melody on a B major, and I'm going to treat that as the first chord in our key signature, and work from there to get the rest of the notes from here. I'm trying to make my chords quite jazzy, so I'm adding dissonant harmonies and I'm adding sevenths to my chords, and I'm just messing about with things, not in any particular direction or with that much knowledge, and I'm just seeing what happens, and if I like it, I keep it, and if I don't, I remove it. And, you know, this could take you 20 minutes or it could take you an hour. It doesn't really matter, just as long as you come out with something that you like. You know, you don't... Music theory is the art of explaining why something sounds good. You don't necessarily need it to make things sound good, but it's really useful to point you in the right direction. So yeah, when I'm making these melodies, I'm thinking about the storytelling and the mood and what I'm trying to convey in the harmony. So now we've got our melody, we've just got to record the damn thing, and to be honest, while this looks complicated altogether, it's actually not that bad. I've intentionally created 8 notes per chord, and the next step is to split that into 8 separate melodies. And that's just as easy as copy-pasting the sequence a bunch of times and muting the notes line by line until it's all split up correctly. And now, when we go to record, we can just solo out each of the melodies in turn and sing over them to get our recordings. There's no need to work out the harmony in your head or use your brain. You've just got to listen to the piano melody and sing the melody back over the top. You know, it's really simple and methodical. And the most satisfying part about this recording process is hearing it all come together at the end. When I did it, the great thing about it is you don't hear the relationship between any of the notes that you've sung until you finish the recording process and you just played all of the vocals together. And I've got a little reaction video of when I was recording, and it's just it's just really satisfying. Tune of the week. I am surprised at actually how well that worked. It's just like you're putting together all the little pieces of the puzzle, and then it just comes together right at the end. I think for beginners and people like me who aren't great at singing, a method like this could be really powerful. You know, it's consistent, methodical, and easy, and it's definitely suited to the slower parts of the songwriting process, where you want to sit down and you want to iron out all of those tiny details. So yeah, this method of recording harmonies has completely changed my way of recording vocals. If you have any other recording techniques you want to share, feel free to leave a comment or hit me up on any of my socials. My DMs are always open. Last week, I said I wasn't going to ask you guys what content I should be making, so comment down below any video ideas you don't want to see. And yeah, as per usual, like, subscribe, check out the links to my music and socials, and yeah, have a good week. I'm not recording on any other side, so... Tune of the week. Alright, fuck it.